Okay. I'm kind of wrestling with this second camera. There we go. It's always a question, you know, how do you set up cameras and things? And the verdict is, I don't know. So, welcome to Lauren's baking stream. Let's see, I'm testing, making sure I've got the ability to move around my kitchen, because I'm tethered. See, the problem with this, it's super convenient. All of this stuff is very convenient when you're sitting in one place, but maybe not quite so convenient when you're walking around a kitchen, see? So let me know what you think, if the audio balancing is any good or not. I tried redoing the setup from the last time I did baking. So maybe one of these cameras is flipped. Audio is good? Okay, good. Excellent. I can't make myself, oh, you know I can. There we go. How's that? Is that better? Can you hear me? I wish I didn't have to check the audio literally every time I stream, especially because I just spent 4 hours streaming not that long ago. This is really confusing. See, it's mirrored? I don't know. Anyway. Perfect! Yes! Okay. Now I have to remember where I put... Okay. Flour. Eggs. So this is what I should have done before, but I was busy getting my recipe together. Cream. You know? Okay, slight spoiler for Undertale. No matter what I do wrong on my cooking show, there have been worse cooking shows. I'm not going to set my kitchen on fire. I'm not going to attempt to murder any of my guests. Those two things, I think, give me an edge. Oof. Sugar? Ah. Vanilla? Baking soda? You guys can see my super cool soap dispenser, which seems appropriate. My mom gave this to us, I don't know how many years ago. I think she thought it was a joke gift. But it's really amazing. It's the best. Oh my goodness, hi Ella! Oh my goodness, Nox! Nox, are you okay, baby? Nox, did you knock things over? Ella! Oh, babies. Cats. Nox! Hi, Nox. Are you gonna make this an unsanitary cooking stream? Oh, and then cocoa powder. I'm gonna want that. But I don't need that yet. And then I'm gonna need, sorry, parchment paper. And then a whole ton of butter. Oh, hello, Baritone! From Germany, nice! So that means we've got several Europeans in the chat, I think. Okay, well, my measurements are not gonna be super helpful to you guys, unfortunately. I'm sorry. But I'm very American when it comes to baking. If I were cool, I would have one of those scales, because that's the best way to measure things, but I'm not cool. So we're gonna have to deal with cups, which I should have gotten out. You would think, given the several hours I took off between streams, that I would have done this already, but instead I freaked out a little bit. And then I had dinner. Do you want to see dinner? Here, let me get my... No, okay, so a big T is tablespoon, and a little t is a teaspoon. This is important. If you're going to be looking at recipes, you need to know this. I'm doing well. I'll probably wind up covered in whatever I'm cooking. I kind of accept that. Although I do have an apron. Oh, Nightwolf Pack, thank you for following. I should move that down, shouldn't I? It's kind of silly up there, isn't it? There we go. I think it's a better place for it. Yeah, I can get an apron. My apron has fairies on it. Do you want to see an apron? If you guys can bear with me, listen to some Suikoden music while I go get an apron. I will be right back then. Nox, don't you dare jump on the counter. The cat jumps on the counter. I don't think that I would be a very family-friendly show if I said that name out loud, but thank you for the follow. Oh my goodness, a whole bunch of people. Okay, so I can't wear my apron because our laundry room got flooded and my apron was in the laundry room, and so it needs to be cleaned. But we got a new washer and dryer. Our landlord got us a new washer and dryer because of the problems, so that's good. So I'm just going to have to be covered in flour. Hopefully that's okay with all of you. You have my permission to laugh a little bit. Oh, Xenogears. Excellent. Good choice in music. Okay, so... Oh, I was going to show you dinner. I made myself... This is like my favorite thing to cook when I'm cooking for just me. Is... God, that looks really unappealing, doesn't it? It's basically a chicken stew with biscuits on top. It's like a pot pie, a chicken pot pie. It's really yummy, and as you can tell, I didn't eat enough for lunch, so I ate half of the dish for dinner, which I kind of regret, but it was so tasty. Oh my goodness. Hello, To-Do Star. I've seen you before. Well, we are about to dive in to some cake. No, I can say Nightwolf Pack. It was somebody else who had an inappropriate name. Frozen fish fillet. I don't like fish, but a lot of people do. So I understand why somebody would choose to do that. Okay, so it is kind of like a shepherd's pie, but instead of... It's kind of like a cross between a shepherd's pie and a pot pie and chicken and biscuits, for lack of a better word. Oh, fun fact. So if you're making biscuits, American-style biscuits, not to be confused with British-style biscuits, which are like cookies. If you're making savory biscuits, which are more like scones, and you want to have an easier time getting the butter into the crumbly bits, you use a cheese grater. See? You can see the texture of this has had a cheese grater on it. Yeah. Nightwolf Pack. No, you're appropriate. There was somebody else whose name had pizza in it. Man, Terra Enigma has such good music. Okay, are you guys ready? The first step is to prepare your pan. Now you have a couple of options when you're baking. You can use Pam, the spray, Baker's Joy, stuff like that, which is basically some sort of fat with flour in it. Or you can do like I do and put the butter and the flour in manually. Oh my goodness, starring stars! Good to see you again. 2 a.m. Well, I hope that my cake party doesn't keep you up, because you should be sleeping at that time. I got just enough room. Okay, so the thing with a 7-layer cake, which is the question, 7-layer cake is apparently something that was really common in Jewish bakeries in Brooklyn in the mid-1900s. Man, that sounds older than it is. The 1950s. That sounds a little less old. And so my dad's childhood memories are of having the 7-layer cake, which is kind of like a Hungarian something tort, but not quite the same. And so a few years ago, I set out as kind of a holiday present to my dad and my aunt, because we always go visit my aunt, my dad's sister, for Thanksgiving. And I was like, hey, I should learn to make a 7-layer cake. So I asked them all these questions about what's a 7-layer cake like. Tell me, let me recreate the 7-layer cake from your childhood. So we looked at all these photos, we looked at things online, we talked about it, what kind of buttercream goes in the middle, what's the icing like? Oh, it's 2 different kinds of icing. You've got a thin, pale-colored buttercream, like cocoa buttercream in between yellow cake. Knox! No! Baby, get down! Knox. Yes, I do remember you, Warwick. Hold on. Cat. Back. Knox. Go on. Hold on. I've got a slight cat intervention problem. There you go. But so it's a very, very thin layer of yellow cake. So I looked up a bunch of recipes, and I found some that seemed close enough, and I kind of tweaked things a bit. But so the cake is very thin, and you cut it into pieces this way. instead of some cakes you cut this way, this one you cut this way into different pieces. Yes, cats are a bit of a problem when you stream, especially Nox's tendency to sit on my keyboard. She's really mad she hasn't had enough attention, so she wants to come sit on this computer, which is really bad. So actually the estimated cooking time, because the cake is like this thin, this thin, it's really thin, it cooks super fast in the oven, like maybe 5 minutes or so. Oh, is the music too loud? I am baking a cake. It's gonna be my birthday. There, is that better? Is the music a little quieter? Should I drop it down more? If anybody else can give me feedback on the audio, that would be helpful. But anyway, so I have these 2 giant cake pan sheets because I'm going to be spreading this very, how do I describe this? It's a very stiff cake batter, and you spread it. Okay, let's turn this down some then. Oh, no wonder. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, my birthday's technically Friday, so this is going to be for my birthday party, which is going to be Saturday. But I'll put it in the freezer so it stays good. But today is the day that I can bake. Oh my goodness. You guys are from all over the place. I'm so excited. Nox! 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 Get down! Baby, no! Hold on. Okay, well, we probably won't set the kitchen on fire and burn down the house, but we might have things break. There, I just moved something in the way. Nox! No, that was not an invitation to come this way! Baby! You're very cute. No, 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 no! Back! Anyway, where were we? Hello! Okay, I have to wash the cat fur off my hands. You'll be happy to know my husband actually does most of the cooking, because I work longer hours than he does. But he's out working right now, so. The flavor should remain the same. It won't be in the freezer for very long. Yeah, this should be good. Just making sure there aren't any little crumbs that got knocked down. Oh yeah, no, my cat is terrible. I think supposedly you can train cats, but does anybody know what this sound is from? Sorry, I get distracted by music. So I'm going to explain to you what I'm doing here. Because this is a very thin cake. If it cracks, we're in trouble. So we want to make absolutely sure that it comes out of the pan. Like when we are ready to take it out of the pan, we want it to just come super neatly out. Which means we're going to grease and flour the bottom and sides of the pan here, which you can kind of see me doing. And you don't have to do the whole thing. But I'm putting this down, and then I'm going to take some parchment paper, which is great stuff. Oh! Oh, baritone! I think so! Yes! Sorry, I meet a lot of people online, so it can be hard for me to keep track. In fact, I have a document, a form that I have been asking people to fill out that says all of that. By the way, it was a battle theme from... Yes, if you want to request a song, if I've got it, I'll switch to it, but I put together a playlist so I don't have to worry about that. But this is all stuff that I have locally. The track earlier, that was a boss theme from Breath of Fire one. Good music. So we'll be listening to mostly video game music, unless I decide I'm tired of video game music. Because if you don't know me, I am a video game cover musician, among other things. This one right here is from Seiken Densetsu 3. which is why it's really very impressive. Okay, so you'll see, probably, I don't know if you can see, I guess between these two, you can see, it's a little close. But basically you put down parchment paper that fits on here, and you can see it kind of sticks. You see the dark bits around the edge? That's where the butter has stuck it. And then I'm going to put more butter on the entire pan, and then I'm going to flour it. Like, this is serious flouring. A lot of baked goods don't require this much grease and flour of the pan. If there's one where you're going to go all out about greasing and flouring the pan, 7-layer cake is a good one. And you'll notice I have a partial stick that I've been cutting butter off of. There's a lot of butter in this cake. It is not for people who don't like butter. And if you are vegan, I don't think that this cake can be made for you without a lot of work, because it depends very heavily on lots of butter. Hey, Lucian! We are greasing and flouring our pan. Well, right now we're greasing it. We'll flour it again, or we'll flour it in a minute, but I'm going to grease and flour both pans, because I need these to be really thin layers in order to bring my dad's childhood memories to life. Left to my own devices, I usually make myself a banana cake for my birthday, but that is an interesting thing. Are you using somebody else's computer, Lucian? So you can tell this is one of the Seiken and Setsu games because the way that the I don't know if that's a marimba sound, but it's very distinctive to Hiroki Kikuta. Please forgive me if I butcher names. I only speak English, and I have a very American accent, but I try. Nox! Okay, you can sit over there. I've got this other counter on the other side of the sink, and she can be in exile over there. I do bake. I bake a lot. In fact, I have to limit how much baking I do, because Tiger Crush, my husband, doesn't eat sweets. So I have to bake when I can give to other people, or else I eat it all. That's not good for me. Nox! Okay, better. I got more Seiken and Setsu. Is this on random? We'll see. If it's too many Seiken and Setsus in a row, then it won't be on random. But you know, I bake a lot. In fact, I usually don't use recipes. Hey, Mizaki! I usually don't use recipes, but for the 7-layer cake I do, especially when I'm on stream. Oh. Here it comes, here it comes. Okay, anyway, sorry. We needed that moment. That's a good moment. So sometimes even if your bakeware is clean, if it sits out, it can accumulate a teeny bit of dust. So we're making sure that Tiger Crush did a good enough job cleaning this pan, too, so all the little brown bits are up. Even though the cake won't be directly touching this pan. I ate so much of my dinner that I baked today that it's like I make fudge once a year to send to my in-laws, and I eat myself sick on fudge and then no more fudge for the rest of the year. This is Meridian Child. Isn't this a great song? I think it's great anyway. Listen to that marching snare line with the drums. It's good stuff. So how is everybody doing? Thank you to those who came out earlier today to my art and music stream. Those I think turned out pretty well. I had some fun singing songs I don't usually sing and some old favorites. When I'm done with PAX and all of that other stuff, oh man, I did not know how to bake in high school. I didn't learn how to cook or bake until college and then after college. My mom was very busy when I was growing up, so she didn't cook dinner very often, and my dad's idea of cooking was to heat up the barbecue and grill something. So I started baking cakes from mixes after my parents split up in high school. And then my discovery of baking, like from scratch, was a gradual process. Oh yeah, thank you, by the way. I saw, so should I call you Smacky in here? Gave me a game about singing and water, I think, which are two of my favorite things in the entire world. Okay, enough of this. This song got ungood. It's Rena's theme. My band, when we cover this song, we take it up because I'm a soprano and this woman is not a soprano. Or if she is, she has a much better low register than I do. And then this is the part where I switch over to flute when we're playing this song. So it's water-based with the flute soundtrack and singing? How did I not know about this game? Maybe I looked it up actually before, because the name sounded familiar and I couldn't remember where. I think it must have been, at some point I was looking up indie games or small dev games because I found that Octodad existed and I got, oh, wait, if that has a fluty soundtrack, is that soundtrack written by the guy who wrote the soundtrack to Octodad? Because he plays flute and that's why there's so much flute on his soundtracks. I was so excited. Yes, this is Star Ocean 2. This is Rena's theme, which my band plays a version of in our 6.5 minute long Star Ocean 2 medley. You think that's bad? Our bassist and I both love that game. He came to me and was like, here's a 10-minute medley that I'm proposing. And I was like, I'm sorry, Danger, I don't think we can do that. And he was like, oh. He was sad. I love the detuned choir. Okay, so we're not going to need this, so I'm going to put it away. Here, that's good enough. So for those of you who watched my baking streams in the past, I've only done a couple of those. I was going to say something and I don't remember what I was going to say. I'll just put this here. Oh, okay. I don't know why I thought of it then, but... Okay, so we're going to flour, because you grease and flour the pan. What time is it for you, Mizaki? Your West Coast? Can you see what I'm doing? Do you guys care? Or are we just here to hang out? So I'm going to explain baking stuff to you, whether you want me to or not. Okay, I thought it was pretty early, Mizaki. I thought you were West Coast. But I guess you are, right? This is a good song from a good game. Terra Enigma. At some point I will finish. Okay, so I don't know if you can see at all, but this has now become somewhat translucent. Whereas this one that hasn't had that is shiny. See, you see the difference? So this one's done. It's about to get really good. Oh good, Nox seems to have given up. She's sitting on the table over there looking surly. Have any of you played Terra Enigma? So I think some of you might have been sent over by my friend Foxhound. Hello? Oh, hey Kirby! Hey! The fact that it's Kirby with an I kind of throws me, but it is Kirby, right? That's how you want us to say it? And I try so hard to get people's names right, but I think I probably don't get them right very often. But I do try, and as I always say, if I get your name wrong or I misgender, you just tell me and I will do better. Whoop. So I'm turning it around to try to get the flour to pool in the sides. Although this cake is going to be very, very flat, so... You should totally play the Earthbound series. I'm going to play Mother 3 once I finish Undertale. Terranigma, though, is super serious. It's in the same series as Illusion of Gaia, or I guess you would know it as Illusion of Time, because you're European. I bake everything from scratch, so I no longer put pudding mix in cake batter because I don't use pre-packaged pudding. I make my pudding from scratch, and I don't use cake mixes. I make my cakes from scratch. Okay, so does Kirby. Okay, got that right. Speaking of Illusion of Gaia, here we go. That one Secret of Mana track was louder than everything else, wasn't it? Okay, so now we've prepared our pans, and I'm going to get ready to do some baking. Which, again, like I told you, if something's been sitting for a little bit, it's a good idea to just make sure that there's no dust, even if it's clean. Or cat hair. Nox! 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 Back, back, back! No, pudding... I'll teach you guys how to make pudding at some point. It's actually pretty easy. If you make it more like a custard, you use a bunch of eggs, but if you just make plain pudding, you can use cornstarch to thicken it. It's very easy. It's like a 4-ingredient. It's like got like milk, sugar, cornstarch, Nox, chocolate, cocoa powder, maybe chocolate chips. It's really easy though. Hey Cascade, yes! So this is a weird recipe. Usually, when you bake cakes... Oh, this song is so good. Usually when you bake cakes, you cream your butter and your sugar, and then you add eggs. And then you add your dry ingredients and any extra wet ingredients. So your dry ingredients you'll have already sifted together, like your flour and baking powder and cocoa powder and whatever else you've got going in there. Yes, this is a lot of butter. Be prepared that there's a lot of butter in this cake. Mirror King, that's a cute name. Yeah, no, it's a lot of butter. This is an entire, what is it, a pound of butter? I think this is a pound of butter. And I think I'm gonna need more actually. So let me get some more butter out of the fridge. Because we have 2 kinds of icing and an entire cake. Yes, 2 sticks is a cup, I think. But yeah, no, pudding is really easy. Custards take a little bit more doing because you can accidentally scramble the eggs, but they're also delicious because then you can make a custard-based ice cream. Delicious! I'm going to make an Undertale-themed feast for some of my friends in a few weeks, and I'm going to make nice cream. But I'm actually going to make it more of a sherbet type thing, and it'll be like a refreshing thing between courses. Nox! Nox! No! Baby! The actual baking part does not take very long. It'll take about between 5 and 10 minutes in the oven. Yes, custard is very easy to mess up. But pudding is very easy to get right. So I would say if you want to try making homemade pudding, I can post a recipe. Simply Recipes. Yes, Elise's Simply Recipes. That's good. Nox, 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 Nox. Flan is hard. Oh, Mirror King, thank you. Thank you for following me. I've had problems with, I was actually at Thanksgiving with my family, and we made flan, and I burned myself on the sugar, and I was super lucky I got it off before the sugar stuck. Nox! No! You're very cute, baby. Go, go. Bad cat. Okay. Anyway, we got distracted. So again, baking a cake, rule of thumb, and so I don't usually use recipes when I make my own cakes. And so rule of thumb is always cream the butter with the sugar. Nox. Nox. What are you doing? Okay, hold on. Baby! it's a cat. Knox! Fortunately, none of my birthday party guests are allergic to cats. Knox, do you want to bake? Knox, do you like this song? You can't hear it. This is Beautiful Day from Sweet Good and 2. It's a very good feel-good thing. Do you get creamed with some butter? Are you a Sugar Knox? Sugar Knox, mwah! Anyway. No, I can't put anything else in my playlist if I don't have it downloaded already. Because I have a lot of game soundtracks. Lucian's having fun with Nox's face. But yeah, so you cream your sugar and butter together, and then you add your egg and your vanilla, and then you add your dry and your wet and your dry and your wet and your dry. You always end on dry, and you scrape it all together and pour it in a thing. But this one is different. So what we do here is we have eggs. Eggs. This is my grocery store brand. It's a good grocery store though. So we want 4 eggs, which for a cake this thin, it's actually quite an eggy cake. You usually have like 2 eggs in a cake. Brownies are very eggy, but this is so... I don't know if you can see anything that's going on here. Look at all that butter. Okay, so we're gonna put... There's 1 egg. I mean, I've gotta say, so we've started... When I bake for other people, I use the grocery store eggs, but we get eggs from a co-op generally, because Tiger Crush eats so many eggs a day that we figured that he better eat healthier eggs. And my goodness, but the yolks are a different color. They're like so much yellower. This one seems louder than the other tracks too, doesn't it? I don't know why. It almost sounds like the Jurassic Park theme, doesn't it? Right there? I find myself almost singing the Jurassic Park theme along with it. There we go. So we've got our 4 eggs. This is me washing my hands in the sink, in case you're like, why is Lauren's disembodied head hanging out over there? Oh. So then we're going to take a tablespoon of cream. We'll be adding the other 5 tablespoons later. So this is another case where it's going to be different between your... This is too late. Yes, 7 layers. Hang on. It's not quite as impressive as it sounds. This one's too loud. Let's listen to some more stars. But okay, so Europeans, British people, have a million kinds of cream. A Bluetooth headset would be pretty cool. I love this headset, and it's a very nice headset. And if I could hook it to a wireless pack, that would be pretty cool, but I don't have one. The dust of flour will totally happen. I make a mess. I don't mean to. But yeah, British people have a million kinds of cream. In America, we have 2 kinds of cream. We have heavy whipping cream and regular whipping cream. You usually want the heavy stuff, unless you're just going to put it in your coffee or something. God, cream is so good. Also, Star Ocean 2 is so good. How are you doing, by the way, Jojo? I'm glad you were able to come here. I knew you wanted to see the cake baking part of this whole extravaganza. And then vanilla. I never measure vanilla. Vanilla, get good stuff. Get real vanilla. Don't get any of this vanilla flavoring stuff. Like, get real vanilla extract. It makes everything better. Ah, so good. Yes, see? See? How many kinds of cream? It's so amazing. I, went grocery shopping. Actually, when I was visiting my stepdad in England several years ago, I was just like, how many kinds of cream are there in the world? And I was really excited. And there's this super thick stuff. I think it's double cream, which you practically spoon it out. Oh, Jojo, you're streaming now! You have to tell me where it is. I want to see. We need to hang out sometime. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of stir this around a bit. You don't have to beat it super well. I like never use a beater for this kind of thing. I always use a fork for beating eggs. I don't know. Blame my grandparents. You know what's even better than double cream is clotted cream. It's like the texture of butter and the taste of cream, and you just spread it on things. I could just eat that. But I also kind of have a high tolerance for cream and things, so. Okay, so this, we set that aside. And now, so this is a really weird... This is a really weird thing. What are you streaming, Kirby? Okay, Nautilus, that is an excellent thing. As long as it's the crafting minigame from Star Ocean 2 and not the one from Star Ocean 3. Well, I have points and kitchen knife. Anyway. I'm really delighted that that's a joke that you'll get. So what we're gonna do, because this recipe is really weird, is we're gonna put... This song really confuses me because I'm like, wait, but I'm not playing. This is how we start every show. Okay, so I'm gonna put the dry ingredients, all of the dry ingredients in here. For some reason, that's what this recipe says to do. A cup and 3/4 cups. Oh, I get to show you guys. Oh! I feel like I'm like on a leash. It's a Matryoshka doll. You open it up, and it's like 1 cup, 2/3 cup, 1/3 cup, 3/4 of a cup. There are other pieces there somewhere. Tiger Crush put them somewhere in the kitchen. I don't know. Okay, so we need a 1.25 cups of flour, or 1 3/4. Now, I will point out, I'm not... Yeah, I know, aren't they cool? I'm not sifting this, so I'll put a little bit less flour than it calls for. I'll show you my measuring spoons, which are nowhere near as cool, except that I've had them since I was 5 years old. They came with some, like, how to cook when you're a small child book. Alright, the flour dusting is happening. Hang on. Let me check something. Sugar, flour, baking soda, and salt. Okay, yes. So there's 1 cup. You'll notice, maybe you haven't noticed. Rule of thumb, if you're American and you use measuring cups instead of weight measurements. I love this song. Xenogears has such good music. You always want to spoon the flour lightly into your cup, because otherwise you're going to wind up packing more in and you'll have an unnecessarily dense thing. And then you spoon it over. Now I'm putting in a little less than what it calls for. See, this is a little bit empty here on the side because I'm not sifting. So I think they were designed that way to be cute, to be honest. And they underestimated. I never realized there's a flute counter melody in this song, guys. That's so exciting. Maybe that's a flute, I don't know. This song is so pretty. Yes, and everybody knows Martha Stewart actually knows what she's talking about with a lot of things. Okay, and then a cup and a teaspoon of sugar. You can just scoop sugar directly though, like white sugar. Don't use brown sugar in place of white sugar unless you know what you're doing. The moisture content is completely different. So here's our 1 cup of sugar. And then I need a tablespoon, but I can't use this tablespoon. These ones, I have had these since I was 5 years old. These are probably older than some of you. So sifting gives it a lighter texture. I should be using cake flour and sifting it, and then it'll have a very nice crumb. That's the technical term actually for the texture of the cake as you're biting into it. But I'm lazy, and I don't like having to clean a sifter. I've got another set of... Yes! Because instead of a sifter, I usually just use this guy, and it takes a while. We'll use this when we get to powdered sugar and cocoa powder for the icings, but that's because those will actually clump. The flour doesn't do that. Okay, so I have another set of this. Such good music. Why is Mitsuda so good? Okay. No, this is Xenogears. This is June Mermaid. And then half a teaspoon of baking powder and half a teaspoon of salt. And as I was explaining to the tea earlier, a little tea is a tablespoon and a big tea is a teaspoon. No, little tea is a teaspoon, big tea is a tablespoon. So the tea is actually a tablespoon because they use a capitalized T. Okay. So what are your favorite kinds of cakes, guys? This is a very important question. Breath of Fire 3 has a very jazzy soundtrack. I mostly know this song from the Kraid arrangement. What did you do, Jojo, that distracted you? Okay, so this is a weird cake with weird technique again. Oh good, my cat is underfoot. Ugh. And yes, that was me sidekicking a door closed. German chocolate cake is pretty delicious. Pineapple upside down cake. I've been wanting to make one of those with fresh pineapple instead of canned pineapple. And I was going to do it for a friend's birthday. Oh, there goes that. I'm going to have to dry that off later. Banana cake is good. With cream cheese icing is the best. That's really cute, Baritone. Oh no, Twitch, don't ask for money. Okay, so this recipe is weird. So I take this softened butter and I cut pieces of it in here. So you see my knife goes right through it. Bam. Scoot. Ah, Nox! Bad cat. I'm sorry, I can't listen to videos or my computer will crash. Right now it is at its limit. Black Forest cake is another good choice. Man, you guys have good taste in cakes. So I have to ask whoever was talking about banana cake, do you put cream cheese icing on yours? Like a carrot cake? Nox! Oh, I know what she wants. We are now going to get the cat out of the way. This butter wrapper? You see the cat? Nox, is this what you want? Come here, baby. Go on. Go on! Get your butter wrapper. It's right there. Yes! Final Fantasy IX! Such a good game. Alright, so we're gonna whip this in a little bit. So it's going to wind up kind of having the consistency of biscuits or scones, depending on whether you're talking American or British. Tim! Hey, Tim! How are you? Oh, man, how exciting! This butter is a whole package, I promise. I just was trying to feel whether it was soft or not, and it kind of squished in my hands. Let me turn. There are bad cakes, but we're not making one of those. Now, I've been told that cream cheese is an American thing. Tiramisu! Oh! When I was in Ireland, I went to an Italian restaurant at one point. I'm in Dublin because I needed to eat somewhere. And I was like, you know, they're closer to Italy than we are. And apparently there's this thing in Ireland, I don't know if it's like this anywhere else, where like if you go to eat before 7, you can have 3 courses for less money. And so I got this special 3-course thing, which is like appetizer, main course, and dessert. And good catch, Lauren. And I got to have some tiramisu, and it was really amazing. I'm going to stream this game when it comes out on PC, if my computer can handle it, which I'm not sure it can. Okay, so that's 2 sticks of butter, which you'll see is the last ingredient. So what we're going to do here is we're going to mix the ingredients. And I don't know, okay, I don't know if any of you guys make biscuits or scones, but there's this texture like soft crumbs, coarse meal. They have a whole bunch of different ways of describing it. Anyway, it's this right here. This is what they're talking about. The idea of eating from 5 to 7 being an early bird thing. Okay. Oh wow, that sounds like an intense cake. I have to admit, I tried Christmas pudding. I didn't like Christmas pudding. Standards of cake are different in different countries, and the traditional British style fruit cake type thing is not to most Americans' palates, and I'm no exception. So when you've got things that has got like lots of fruits and lots of dried fruits and alcohol and nuts and things like that, it's really iffy whether I'll like it or not. Okay. So I'm going to put in the remaining 5 tablespoons of cream. This is not a healthy cake. If you want a healthy cake, we'll make a spice cake. 4, 5? Is that 5? I got distracted. Put a little bit more just in case. I really like sweet potato. So we'll do that and mix that in. Yeah, it's very interesting to me. I really want to try making a traditional English sponge cake, which technically, traditionally, originally doesn't have any sort of leavening at all. It's all the eggs that give it the fluffiness texture, which is very exciting for me. Okay, we'll see how this goes. Sometimes I don't follow the directions and I just make the cake with the order of things making a cake. Hey, juice! 35 juice. 2 juices. Not just 1. I'm dissatisfied with this. Yeah, so I bake enough that having a stand mixer is a really good idea. This is my cake, so I'm doing this. Too much flour. Oh, you know my, something isn't right. Ah! Nox, you left your butter wrapper on the floor and I stepped in it. Gross. Sorry. Stab the sword of justice. What is it that... Listen to that bass line. Our bassist, who goes by the name Danger, plays that. I think it's that the butter is a little bit old. I think that's what I'm tasting. It'll be fine though. So this is my favorite spatula. I need to get more like it because it's beginning to get like nicks out of the side of it. Because I use it all the time because it's not too thick and it's not too hard, it's not too soft. It scrapes the edges just fine. It's a good thing. Should have just made this cake the way I know cakes should go. Oh well. Oh my goodness, putting in way too much baking soda. That is a thing I've done before. I make biscuits a lot and I never measure. So I've had some really exciting things. It's cool that you're baking already, Tim. I didn't really start baking until after college. So I once made brownies, the 1 bowl brownie mix off of the side of the baking chocolate mix, or baking chocolate package recipe, and I accidentally put in extra sugar instead of flour. It's not a good idea. Well, we'll see how this is. My butter might be old. So this is a thick batter, as you can see. It's a spreadable one. So I'm gonna plop it in here. Plop. Sorry. I get really distracted by songs that my band plays. So we're gonna try to spread this super thin. Yeah, so if it's got too much baking soda, it'll get a really weird, airy texture, and it will taste like baking soda, which is an unfortunate thing. My mom didn't cook or bake much when I was growing up, so I just didn't have a lot of baked goods. Not like I do now. It's kind of a problem. I have to bring it to work. More sweet good in music. Yay! Okay. I don't know if you guys can see. I'm not quite sure what you're asking, Smackian. I did bring, we had a birthday show 2 years ago, and I brought cake or cupcakes or something to it. I'm gonna have cake at PAX South. Come see me and I'll give you banana birthday cake. I'm gonna bake a giant quantity of birthday cake. Banana cake. Somebody said something. I'm sorry, the text went away. I got distracted. So I'm sorry if I didn't respond to what you said. I'm thirsty. I should probably drink water. It's probably part of why I was feeling weird earlier. Well, if you're in the middle of baking at one of our shows, you might have a problem. Because we don't usually bake at places, or play shows at places that have ovens. Yes, cookies at the album release. See? This is a thing. This is a thing I do. I bake and then I share my baked goods with people. Smackian is somebody who lives nearish and so comes to shows. It's okay, Tim. Today's not actually my birthday anyway. My birthday is Friday. But I have to work on Friday. And I don't have to work today. So I was like, you know, I could do my homework. I actually did do some of my homework. Or I could stream all day. Foxhound! Hi! I'm making cake. Did you have a good talk with your mommy? Did you tell her that she's awesome and I want to meet her? Foxhound gave us a really special game last night. It's really remarkable. It's like a PS2 disaster survival thing. You know, Fox, if your mom ever comes to town, I will bake her a cake. Any kind of cake she wants. Fox is one of my good friends, guys. He streams D&D on Tuesdays. He's the GM. But I never get to watch that because I'm usually streaming my own game. But he also does board game stuff. He has like an ongoing Pandemic Legacy game. And normally on Mondays, he does art and stuff. But instead he's hanging out with me because he's a cool guy. For his birthday, I baked him a lemon ginger cake with cream cheese icing? Lemon ginger cardamom cake? Or was it rose water? Did I put rose water icing on that? This is a thing. I try to find out what kind of cakes people like, and then occasionally I'll make them a cake just for them. So this is like, it takes longer to spread this cake batter in the pan than it does to actually bake it because it's so thin. Like, you want it to be super thin. You don't want it to have holes in it, but you want it to be thin. Oh, was it a vanilla bean buttercream? I want to say that there was something that you said you didn't like, and I said it was just because you hadn't had a good version of it, so then I made you what I thought was a good version of it. I don't know. Aw, Tim. I didn't play D&D for the first time for a while because I couldn't find people who would let me play because I was a girl, and girls don't play D&D. Are you one of my Europeans, Baritone? I'd love to come play shows in Europe. I wound up talking to some musicians in Dublin and in Howth, where we were staying the week after Dublin, about what gigging is like around there. But I don't know that I'll ever have the opportunity to play in Europe. But wouldn't that be cool? Yes, matching play style between the GM and all of the players is definitely a challenge. I like, surprise, surprise, I like melodrama and characterization, and I'm not terribly interested in combat, generally. Like, I once played on this hack and slash mud, if you know what a mud is. It's a text-based, it's kind of like a text-based MMO from back in the day. But it was hack and slash, and I played a bard, and like I was like half the level of all of my friends because I was just like drama, not out of character drama, although there was a little bit of that actually. That was around the time that I started dating Tiger Crush. Oh god, this is a good song. But mostly in character drama. I would love to play in Europe. You know, if we can find venues or events or things that might want to bring us over. But I think right now our best bet to leave the States would be if the PAX people like us enough to bring us out to like PAX Australia or something, like they did with the double clicks. But I don't know if they'll do that with us. Because nobody knows who we are. Because we're still, like, we're a new band. So. This is a good song. This is from Luffy and the Fortress of Doom. I put too much flour in this corner. The cake won't go down. Sorry, Smacky, and I missed that. I got distracted. What is my camera showing? Camera, nobody wants to see my butt. What kind of campaign do you like to run, Cascade? Okay, I'm washing my hands again. Yeah, I think that's definitely kind of fridgy tasting. I do not play any MMOs. We actually have a no MMO rule in our household. I'm getting batter on my microphone thing. Or headphone wire. We wash that off. really delightfully satisfying when you plop that cake batter down. Yeah, I don't know that I could sing any butt wiggling songs. Although I did used to do belly dancing, which involves a lot of hip wiggling. Kind of related. What did you play, Tim? I have run games in which we just stop doing combat rolls. I'm that person. Ah, such a good song. Such a good song. One of my Patreon patrons, excuse me, I always spell that word wrong. Years ago, one of my very first people requested this. And I was like, why haven't I played this already? That's a good question. So then I covered it, and I was really happy with how it turned out. Akea? Oh god, it's such a good song. And it's such an obvious choice for a flute, isn't it? I don't think this cake is going to turn out so great. Granted, I always say that. But still. Cat Paws Land. Interesting. I played this song on my flute, the Irish coastline. That was pretty cool. Because I was at Howth, which is a fishing town that I think is a real touristy destination. But so there are beaches, but they're like the brooding cliffside kind of beaches, which I was really excited. Hey, Old Greg Channel is here. Hello. Anyway, I really like brooding, melodramatic things in general. Well, no, so the thing is, you actually make one very... You're supposed to have a sheet cake pan, which, like, a full sheet is very big. This is a half sheet. So, I'm going to cut these into pieces. So this is the entirety. And it's mostly the taste that I'm concerned about. But, you know, it'll be okay. Right? A full ocarina... What's a full ocarina? Is that a sweet potato one? I'm not an ocarina expert, but I do have some ocarina friends, so I know a few things about ocarinas. And I have a little bitty ocarina that I got years ago at a local Ren fair. And while I was getting mine, a dad next to me was getting one for his little boy, and he was like, I'll only get it for you if you learn to play the Song of Time on it. And I started laughing because this was before you heard people talking about things like that at random places all the time. And the dad was like, she knows what I'm talking about. I was like, I do, in fact. In fact, in X number of years, I will be at a video game cover band. I don't know. I don't know. Alright, trying to get this corner down. What is that? Ah. Almost done, guys. And then we're going to put it in the oven for like a few minutes. 12-hole ocarina. Yeah, mine is a 6-hole. So it's a very small little 6-hole ocarina. What is this? This is not a song I know. But it's a song I should apparently know because it's a Xenogears song and I know a lot of the music from that game. Better than I know that game. I never got very far in Xenogears. I got to a point where it looked like the doc was betraying me, and I was like, you know, he's the only thing that's got me still going in this game, so I stopped. Yeah, I tell a lot of random stories on stream. Okay. I don't know if you guys... Why is the cake still showing my butt to the camera? No! Oh! Oh dear. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna need to tape that. Okay, let me stick these in the oven. And then I'm going to tape down. Okay, so I put these in the oven. And I set the timer, kitchen timer, for like 5 minutes. Usually it takes a lot longer than that to bake cake, but this is so... Pokemon Mystery Dungeon! There's a friend... Oh man, don't tempt me, Cats of War, or I will start singing that song for you. There's one of my YouTube buddies, well, I don't know, he probably doesn't consider himself a YouTube buddy because we don't know each other very well, but I like him and he's consistently said nice things to me. But he arranges Pokemon Mystery Dungeon music for, he like does like MIDI sheet music arrangements of them, which I think is pretty cool. Honestly, I've heard some of his arrangements. I don't want it to show my butt. Nobody wants to see my butt. Okay. This is, by the way, when somebody was talking about spending money on getting high-tech gear, I'm like literally using tape to tape my webcam to my stand. This song is weird. I'm done with it. Bespin Pen is what he goes by. Oh, this one. Yes, we'll do this. He also does Earthbound music. I don't actually know for sure. I think that he is the right pronoun to use, but I don't know. Sorry, guys. Okay, so our cake is in the oven. Yay! Cake is in the oven. So we're done with the flour. We won't need that. So I'm gonna put it away. An important lesson that took me a very long time to learn is that you should clean up as you go, or else you'll have a nightmare when you finish. Okay, so we have two things that we're going to make after this. We have two kinds of icing. We have a buttercream, a light cocoa buttercream that goes between the layers, and then a chocolate glaze that goes on the outside. There we go. See, it's the headphones that are the bigger problem, because the other thing hooks to my hip and is okay. But, like, the headphones, like... I mean, I guess I could just put the headphones down and not listen to the music, because it doesn't actually gain me anything to have the music, but I like the music. Maybe I'll put the music here. I'll put the music there, so that I can wash some things. So I'm here, washing some things. Doom-pa-doom-pa-doom-pa-doom. I'm so excited I haven't dropped any frames. So people, tell me what exciting things are happening today. Is everybody having an okay day? Well, there should still be fun. There should be cake. Cake is fun. I'll put the music back on my head. Hey, cat! It's going all right. We just stuck cake in the oven. And now we're going to work on icing. Man, Fez has a good soundtrack, I think. Ah! It's hot! It's hot! It's hot! It's hot! I'm actually curious how things like kitchen sinks differ from place to place. Oh no, the tea! Nautilus, will you be posting your remixes on Twitter because then I can catch them? Tattoo? What kind of tattoo are you gonna get? Game Santa. Isn't that Phil Fish? And people have big opinions about him or something? Is that a materia thing, Nautilus? Oh, it is! I knew that. I remember that. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about PAX South, too. I'm Nervous. Sorry, Nautilus, I had a brain fart moment. Alright, so technically my cake might be done, but we'll see. I need to drink water. If I don't drink water, then I'm gonna start getting really sad. Because if you don't drink water, your mood gets bad. Not just yet. Oh man, it's Paladin's Quest! Do we have any clean cups though? We have water glasses that are made of glass. That's too fancy. I'll drop that. Here we go. Blender cup! Musical YouTube buddies. Yes! If you do that stuff, Tim, you have to let me know. Hi. Sorry, I don't mean to ignore you guys. I'm just shuffling around, baking a cake, like you do. Oh, I should probably get this open. This will tell me what conversations have been happening. I think somebody else followed me, and I'm sorry if I missed the message. Okay, I'll say I was thirsty. Yes, Final Fantasy IX is a great game. That is actually a really cool sounding, what's it called? Tattoo. I like it when people's tattoos are really personal. Not that anybody like needs to worry or care about what I think of their tattoo, but I think that's cool. I mean, there's people who just get a tattoo because they think a thing is kind of cool, and I guess that makes sense for them, but not for me. Like, our bassist Danger has so many tattoos on his arms. He's got, like, a ship like Popeye on one side, and he's got Boba Fett, and he's got Darth Vader and some stormtroopers and other things, and just, like, all over his arms, and it makes him really happy. And these are things he likes, but they're not, like, truly epic personal. And I don't know. You might have caught on to the fact that I really like very dramatic things. Yes, he also has tattoos on his fingers that aren't appropriate for children. So when we go to play shows where there are kids, we change it to say rock, y'all, instead of what it does say. Okay, I think we're done. Now, I always think that the cake is ruined. Here's the cake. Smells good. See, so that took 7 minutes, guys. Hoop! Sorry. Alright. There we go. Are you awake? I'm awake. No, this is actually from Lufia. So, if you've heard our Lufia medley. Actually, Kat, my mother is Canadian. My sister was born in Canada. My mother is Canadian. And so there are a few words that when I say them, I sound very Canadian. So if I say sorry, tomorrow, borrow, yeah. And then also, when I say about, there's just a little tiny bit of a scoop in it. Tattoos on your neck. You know, there's not a lot of stigma about tattoos, at least in this part of the world, but a tattoo on your neck is more likely to get you stigmatized, which you can by all means make that decision, not to worry about that, but the tea has good advice. My advice is if you want a tattoo, you should wait several years and see if you still want that tattoo on your body. I had a tattoo that I thought I would want on my body if I got a tattoo. I think I probably wanted it, like that would have been my choice for about 10 years, and now I wouldn't choose that anymore because it's not who I am anymore. But I wouldn't regret it if I had it either, you know? So, okay. This is Paladin's Quest. I want to do a full cover of this one. Someday I will. Where did I put my cup that oh, there's my cup that I was drinking out of. Also known as Lennis, Paladin's Quest is a Super Nintendo RPG that came out. The first game was released in the US back when Enix was making really experimental and strange RPGs. The sequel never made it to the US. Very strange. Oh! Yeah, the semicolon is a good classic that, Oh my goodness, Nautilus! Go sleep! 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 I'll look forward to hearing your materia stuff if you post it in the materia group. I'll hear it. I recorded parts for one of mine, so I'm kind of last minute scraping them together, but it'll be okay. Yeah! Good night! Okay. Yeah, I think words make a good quote. I should have made the cake with the fresh butter, not the old butter. Chocolate will mask some of the taste, but it's a butter cake. Okay, well, I'll take a look at it then. I was gonna say something. Tattoo. So the tattoo that I was thinking about getting actually would be butterfly wings, like monarch butterfly wings, but rainbow colored. I actually have a pair of wings that I could wear. They're all faded now because they're old. What was I doing? Here we go. The Materia Collective is working on more albums. So yeah, Tim, see, that kind of tattoo makes a lot of sense to me. The rainbow wings that I would have gotten are fairy wings that were really important to me growing up. Oh, so Foxhound and I are working on a track potentially for Materia, if we can get it together in time. Because I was going to work with another collaborator who wasn't able to do it, and Fox was like, well, I've kind of got an idea. So, we'll see how that goes. I'm excited. It is out of the oven already, Mizaki, because it took 7 minutes in the oven. So now we're going to work on the icing. So like I said, there's 2 icings. Oh, watch this, watch this. Bam! Oh, that doesn't fit. Here I was thinking I did a good job on it, but I didn't. Hello, Crazy Sunshine. You're back. Okay. So this is something we're gonna just kind of, because we're gonna make an arbitrary quantity of icing, and then we're gonna put arbitrary quantities of things in it. So we're gonna do like, my birthday is actually Friday, but we are celebrating it with a streaming party early because I had today off work. So. This butter tastes way better. I should have used this butter. Oh well. Too late now. Man, why is Suikoden so good? Because the guy who makes Suikoden is awesome. Okay, so... Yep, I know so many people with January birthdays. So I'm going to try to sift... We'll see if I lose patience, but I'm going to try to make myself sift this cocoa powder. This should be all the cocoa powder I need for this. Ah, Kat, so your birthday was relatively recently. Thank you, Crazy Sunshine. Are you somebody who watches the stream archives, or are you somebody who likes the music? Oh, thank you, Rabid Squirrel. Why would the third Monday of January be the most depressing day of the year? I wonder why that would be. Yeah, I don't always cook, but I do some cooking. I also do music and art and then streaming of games. Oh, that's really cool, baritone. Now, by you saying on a concert, does that mean that you are going to a concert or you're performing in a concert with her? Ella, what are you doing? Sorry, cats are bad. Hello, Barca Lucas. Hello to Brazil. Hello, Falcro. God, this song is so good. One of these days we're going to finish our Suikoden 2 medley, and then we're going to go back to performing this one live. I was all excited thinking I was going to grab powdered sugar. It's not powdered sugar that I grabbed. Oh, they smell really good though. Oh, Celtic Woman. They do really lovely stuff. I really like their music. Some of their versions of songs are some of my favorites. Or I found other really good, there it is! I found other really good musicians who have been part of Celtic Women in the past. Sorry, camera's getting tilted around. Okay, bye, Nautilus. Sleep well. I can't do that part right. Ah! Yes, Haley Westera is really good. That's one of the ones that I really like. I don't know how old Haley Westera is. My mom has good taste in music, sometimes. We don't have the exact same taste, but close enough. Sorry guys, this camera is a problem. Ah! Man, I really like the Mother's soundtrack. This is some seriously ugly powdered sugar stuff. Okay, well, that's not too much younger than me. I remember when Charlotte Church was like the biggest thing ever, and she was a little girl. And she actually had like terrible technique and lots of things were not very good about the way she sang, and it used to drive professional singers crazy that everybody liked her so much. Oh, yay! That makes me happy, Tim. I really need to do something. Maybe I don't know if it's that my tripod is broken or what. Oh my god, I love Lorena McKennitt. I love Lorena McKennitt. I really want to be like her. If I could be like any random musician, she's pretty high on my list. I love what she does. She's so good and beautiful and otherworldly and magical, and her voice is amazing, and she's basically like a fairy. She's so cool. I have a lot of affection and nostalgia for some of her music too. Okay, so I don't have a proper sifter, so we're gonna do this. Listen to more Suikoden music, apparently. Because you can never have too much Suikoden. Lorena McKennitt, how do you describe Lorena McKennitt? She's kind of like folk / world music. I don't think there's anyone else quite like Lorena McKennitt. I need more hands than I have. Oops. Yeah, like Celtic influenced folky, but like folk, like folk songs, not like folk rock, if that makes sense. She's really, I don't know. She'll take old poetry and set it to music. And have all sorts of amazing instruments and her use of timpani and just, she's so amazing. I really like her. You should listen to her and see what you think. And you may not like her, and that's totally fair. But I like her. Ah! I don't have enough hands. It just occurred to me I don't know what kind of plate I'm going to put this cake on. Oh, see, I really like metal too. I mean, I'm in a metal band. And Lorena McKennitt's one of my favorite bands, or musicians too, and Simon & Garfunkel and Bon Jovi, and I love the Goo Goo Dolls beyond words. So, it's varied. Alright, let's see what happens with this much sugar. Yes, that's right, the returners! Coming soon to PAX South near you. Oh, I didn't hook this in very well, did I? Yes, Within Temptation. They make beautiful music. They are not my absolute favorite, but they are good. Lucian's been playing through Final Fantasy VI, so he's very excited about the returners. Yay! That's right, because we actually brought enough CDs to PAX Prime. Because last year at PAX South we didn't bring enough CDs, because I was like, there's no way we'll sell this many CDs, and I was wrong. Simon and Garfunkel are so good. I do, I have a cover of Bridged Over Troubled Water. Um, ah! I remember signing... No, I don't know, actually. Sound of Silence is good. Okay, so... When I was in high school, my friends really liked I Am a Rock. It's a very high school song. But it's poetic, because Paul Simon's actually a poet. So amazing. Well, Tim will meet up with you at some point. I don't remember exactly which city you're in, but... Yes, Scarborough Fair! If you're not careful, I'll switch over and start singing, instead of listening to music here. Yes, we signed pre-order CDs. I still need to send a bunch of CDs out. I have been all over doing random other things and not... I'm just really disorganized is what it comes down to. If we could be like a professional band and have like assistant people helping us. Okay. Maybe we'll be back out to something in Houston. We're actually hoping to play some shows, and Game Over Video Games has a store that actually is equipped with, what's it called? A stage in Houston, and we've got friends who do booking in Houston, so at some point we'll come out that way. This is from Seiken Densetsu 3, so Secret of Mana 2. Favorite singer of all time? Oh, I don't know. I have very different tastes in singing. Like, I really, really, really like... Like, I seriously cannot stress enough how much I love the Goo Goo Dolls. So the thing is, we just need to play another local Austin show before we go out of town. And we had one and it fell through, and I'm just really bad at booking local shows. I don't know how to do it. I'm like, I can get my band booked to play a show at a convention in Seattle in front of thousands of people, but I can't book my band at a local band or local bar in downtown Austin. I can't do it. Yeah, Game Over. We are friends. We go way back. I made this icing wrong. I don't even know how. I don't know what I did. I think I put way too much cocoa powder in. No, I don't think I know Jennifer Nettles. Okay, well, we want to talk about role models. I want to be like Floor Jansen. She can sing anything. We do! The PAXs are streamed. So PAX South will be streamed. I can't vouch for the quality of it, but it will be streamed. Oh yeah, no, it's totally salvageable. There we go. Ta-da! It's gonna need more icing sugar though. I can tell a lot. Oh! You mean not like a show, but just... Yeah, I want to try that. Now that we're... Now that we're practicing at our bassist's house... I've thought about seeing if I can set up stream stuff there. But they'd have to all be comfortable with it. I really like Pelageya, who is a Russian singer. This is Moonlit Night from Suikoden. This is a Suikoden 2 version. I have a cover of this actually. Because in Suikoden 5 there's some... Because this song is in every Suikoden game. And in Suikoden 5 there are characters who, like their group of people, they play flutes to soothe their animals. And so if you talk to them when this song is playing, it'll switch to being all flutes. So I was like, I need to cover this song. Somebody did a duet with Bon Jovi. Okay, well, what song did they do a duet? Because I might know that. Because I actually know Bon Jovi. You know, I know why things taste bad, because I burned my tongue. That's why. Okay. Mystery solved. That makes me feel better. Oh god, okay. I know that song. It is not my favorite Bon Jovi song, unfortunately. I burned my tongue because I didn't eat enough for lunch, and then I made dinner and I didn't wait. I thought it was cool. It was a really good dinner though, and now I have it for leftovers for lunch. Although I think my boss might be taking me out to lunch tomorrow because she's the best boss. So I was like, I'm stressed out about real life stuff, and my boss is like, boss slash guidance counselor slash career advisor slash friend. She's the coolest. I think my boss is the best. I made essentially a chicken pot pie-ish thing with biscuits on top instead of a crust. Which is like one of my favorite things to make, but Tiger Crush doesn't like it, so I only make it when he's not home. I really like Bon Jovi. I'm aware on some level that's supposed to be a guilty pleasure, but whatever. Working definitely takes some getting used to. When you realize that you're spending a significant amount of your time not doing your own thing. But yeah, having a cool boss makes a difference. I've had bosses who are outright abusive. So like, I've been at my current job for 6 years now, and a large part of why I've been there this whole time is because my boss is the best boss in the world. So I don't know if you can see at all of my... Oh, poor camera. Let's see, we wanted to have this light texture. Yes, this is Final Fantasy VI. I'm going to do a cover of the Phantom Forest at some point, because Grand Finale, the official arranged album, has a version that has flute and a singer over it. It's amazing. So, I want to do that. Something's a little bit odd about this. But my tongue is burned, so anything that I taste is going to seem weird. So I have to keep that in mind. So this is like every time I bake, I like freak out. I'm like, oh, it's going to be terrible. It's going to be terrible. Water. I should probably close the window now that I think that the house is not going to be on fire. So because the cake is so thin, it's also already cooled. Oh man, I love this song. I'm gonna close the window. Oh, Seth Browning! Thank you for following me! Yay! Even though my... Okay, I'm gonna put... There we go. The mixer is listening to some music. Some rad tunes! Sorry. made this cake before. I've made it before numerous times. I make it every Thanksgiving. So in fact, I just made it 2 months ago. Pie is a good compromise if you don't like cake. What about cookies? Does your friend like cookies? Or how about quick breads, like banana bread? Oh gosh, the cake pie things. I don't like those because they tend to call for cake mixes and pie mixes and things like that. And again, I'm a baking snob, so. Okay. All right. So now, usually, with this next part, usually I have my cousin on hand, and he helps me cut the cake, because I have to figure out how it fits. Oh, fish and sweet potato. I can never remember how to say that word. I can't say it right. Sure-pumple cake pie. I'm gonna make a butterscotch pie when I make my big Undertale themed feast. I'm gonna obviously spaghetti has to be the main course. And I'm gonna make a cinnamon butterscotch pie. I'm going to be streaming it probably from Foxhound's house because he was kind enough to offer to host. And then we'll have a party and probably stream that. It'll be a great big event because a bunch of my friends and I are streamers. Apparently I'm a streamer now. When did that happen? I don't know, but it did. Oh. I did a cover of this song, and I never released it on YouTube. Because it's all these flutes. This pyroxene from Star Ocean 2. But our Star Ocean 2 fan has left the house because it was like 2 in the morning his time or something like that. Is this size going to work? Yes! So you take a board of some sort. Yeah, Tiger Crush always calls it a butts pie because that's what it's called in game. And I'm like, whatever, it's a butterscotch cinnamon pie. And I found some recipes online that look like a good idea, so I figure, and then I'll make nice cream to go between the courses, and it'll be like little sherbets, and each one of them will have something sweet to say. So I'm wrapping this in plastic because then the cake won't stick to it. Because I'm going to make a glaze and it's going to go everywhere. Hi, Devil's Cry. I don't even remember which dungeon Pyroxene plays in. Call this next level technique. I would say this is a Lauren makes a big mess all the time technique. So you gotta defeated by the cling wrap. Cooking pro. Oh god, the Hoffman ruins. Okay. Okay, so clearly we do have a Star Ocean fan still hanging out. covered. Let's see. I beat Star Ocean 2, and I watched my sister beat Star Ocean 2, and then I watched Tiger Crush beat Star Ocean 2, and I think I might have watched my sister beat Star Ocean 2 twice. I am not sure if I'm excited for 5 because I gave up on 4 because I was tired of its pedophilia and misogyny. Oh, cool! What are you playing, Crazy Sunshine? Sorry, you have to deal with there being a lot of singing. Yeah, well, like, Star Ocean games are always fun. This is not working. I actually liked some of the characters, but I didn't like the way the game treated them, if that makes sense. Like, it was sexualizing its little girl characters and treating, like, Raimi was super cool. I really liked her. She was, like, strong and assertive and intelligent, and so consequently they had to demean her as much as they possibly could. And I was like, I can't stand for this. So, I stopped. I was so mad. It was like... burn this at the bottom? No, it's a little bit burnt. Darn it. It's okay though, right? Nobody's gonna know or care. We're just gonna make a mess here. So I'm cutting the crunchy bits off of the edge. Here. And then I have to get a ruler. It cuts well, at least. So that's why you have such a thick dough. Too dry. I burned it. Sad. My tongue is burned. I have to remember this. It can't be that everything is tasting terrible. It is a Logitech HD 720p, I think. Yes, if I cut this into quarters. I don't usually freehand this. Yeah, no, it's a good camera. It's not the camera's fault. It is, well, you can see it here. It is on a tripod and it is taped. Stars until the end of time. I did. I played it. I really liked it. this camera is my laptop's built-in camera. It does okay. Usually, if I do this at Thanksgiving, my cousin Mark gets out one of those T-square things and he measures and he gets out a calculator and we do some math and then he figures out exactly how big these things need to be. Bye, Mizaki. It was good to see you. Yeah, streaming definitely is a time commitment. I worry that I won't have enough time to do the schoolwork that I'm supposed to be doing. So I'm about to go into my thesis semester. And I've got the mentor that I wanted. And he is brilliant and amazing and going to kick my ass. Oh, I'm trying not to swear on stream and I just did. I really liked Star Ocean 3. I know a lot of other people didn't. But I did. Burned the cake, guys. That's so sad. I should have taken it out sooner. No, but I try not to swear on my streams. I definitely need to make chat bigger the next time I do this kind of a stream because I want to see what you guys are saying. Version in a Creed, the arranged album. It's okay, Baritone. Don't feel obligated to stick around. Because I still gotta make the glaze, and the glaze is gonna take some time. And yes, actually, I'm a bit of a potty mouth off stream. Which is funny because people are always like, "Oh, Lauren, you never swear." And I'm like, have you never spent any time with me? Because I know you have. Sometimes I'll be like, I just swore a lot in front of you 5 minutes ago. But for whatever reason, people think that I don't swear. I don't know. I mean, to be fair, I didn't say my first swear word until I was 13 years old. And I didn't actually start swearing with any regularity until college when I started playing multiplayer games with my friends. And I'm really bad at competitive games, as it turns out. And I don't enjoy them. I don't know who Clyde Mandolin is, but feel free, like, if you gotta go hang out, Tim. I will not be offended if you don't stick around. I hope I made enough icing. I might not have. Should have put that extra stick in, but I didn't. I I don't think I made enough icing, guys. This is gonna be bad. I have these really thin, almost non-existent things. So I'm trying to follow what you guys are talking about, but I'm also trying to make... This song is too sad. This is not at all what it sounds like. Ah, okay, we'll do this. Battle of the Island in the Void. A very dramatic name. Lufia has good music. Even its annoying music makes me happy. But I also have a very high tolerance for very annoying music in games. Like certain kinds of annoying music, like annoyingly happy music. Like the shop theme in this game. So annoying, so amazing. I love it. It makes me super happy. I don't know if anybody else in the world likes it, but I do. Well, no, the thing is that this cake is supposed to, there's a particular way that this cake is supposed to look and taste and be. So, my dad would be like, well, the icing's a little thin between the layers. That's okay. Would be the implication. You know, given that I just completely cut by hand. Yes, Tem's Shop is kind of an amazing song. Oh man, this is going to be a close call, whether we have enough icing to put between the layers. But that's okay, because nobody who eats this cake is going to be an expert on the 7-layer cake, the way my dad and my aunt are. They have standards. Of course, they told me, they were like, just to warn you, you're stacking up against the cake in our minds from our childhood, so we are going to be completely unfair to your cake. But they actually like my cake. I offered to make it at some point when my second cousin was around, and they were like, no, make it after she goes, because we don't want to have to share it. I was like, guys, I can make a bigger cake. And they were like, no, it's ours. Hands, band-aids, what? I don't understand. I missed something. Did I miss something? Please clarify if I'm being dense. Because that happens sometimes. Oh, Tiger Crush will be home at some point. Maybe we'll actually be able to stream a thing together after all. I didn't know if I'd still be going, but I might leave it when he gets back. So I've still got to make the glaze. I did not cut my hand. I think I was being happy that I cut this right. No, I don't have any cuts on my hands. I mean, I have problems with my thumb because I bite the skin on my hands, but... Okay, so this one's done. Text-based RPGs? Oh, like... Oh, is this one still warm? That's cool. Are you guys able to see what I'm doing? Do you want me to talk through it? I feel like mostly what's happening here is that I am cooking, baking, and talking to you guys, and you're talking, but I think I'm past the instruction stage. This is why I tell people this cake's not actually very impressive, but it looks impressive. You know? Yes, Mr. the Flute, that's right. That's my husband's stream name. I hope these pants are the same size, otherwise we're gonna have a problem. One of these days I'll release my version of this song with lyrics. But now I've got the lyrics stuck in my head every time I listen to it. And I don't think they're very good. Oh, turn-based RPGs in Fire Emblem? SRPGs. I'm a little confused. Admittedly, I'm only hearing like half of this conversation because I'm like sitting here thinking about cake. Oh, you guys can't see the cake. Here's the cake. There, see. I'm not a neat and tidy baker. Oh, haha! I used to run one of those that was actually a fan game based in Suikoden. My sister and I made one back when we were in high school. But I'd never heard them. Like, sometimes they're called like play by post or play by chapter. Sometimes they're played on. They used to play them on LiveJournal, but before LiveJournal was a thing, we had email chapters and a message board on Zoom. Man, that takes me back. Probably longer than you've been alive, Tim. I think it was about your age. Before that, I played one that was based in Final Fantasy, that was done in a Usenet news group. But yeah, so suffice to say, yes, I've played games like that before. I've run games like that before. I've had extensive high school drama due to games like that before. Good times, man. I know I referenced my high school drama a lot, but there was quite a bit of it. Oh yay! It fits! Look at that! Totally, like, freehand. Excellent. We might have enough icing. There'll be thin icing layers, but we might have enough to do this. And yes, my fingers are clean. If you commission me to make a cake, I won't use my fingers all the time. But if I'm baking a cake like this, I simply don't have the tools or technique to do this otherwise. So this is what you get. So I have no diseases, and I wash my hands regularly. So Rugrats, huh? Interesting. I guess the Rugrats theme has xylophone stuff going on, doesn't it? Yeah, I've made cakes on commission before. Not often, but sometimes. And I made my mom's wedding cakes. And I made Tiger Crush's aunt's wedding cakes. But those were just sheep cakes. Because they were doing like a whole like outdoor in a lavender field wedding. Which is cool and all, except that it was like June in the middle of the day in Texas. So that was a little bit unfortunate, and my cakes kind of melted a little bit. But yes, this is from the third Secret of Mana, so... Or, well, the third Second Insetsu game, so that would be the sequel to Secret of Mana. So I'm trying to follow what you guys are talking about. Oh man, Silent Hill has good music from what I'm able to listen to. But boy, is it unsettling. It's very unsettling. As it should be. Silent Hill is one of those things that I respect a lot, and therefore I will have literally nothing to do with it if I have anything to say about it. Because, yes. So you may notice that we have an extra piece of cake. Oh, you probably don't actually because you can't see it. Well, we actually have enough cake to make an 8-layer thing, but that wouldn't be a 7-layer cake, so we're not going to use it. Silent Hill would scare me. It would give me nightmares. I would be very unsettled. So, no Silent Hill for me. Alright, so now we're cutting the last cake layer. And then we're going to plop this right on top. There we go! Oh man, Chrono Trigger. So I'm just gonna smooth over some of the icing. Oh, I should probably bump this cake actually up a bit on here. If I can, yes, good. Slide it around a bit. Sounds like Tiger Crush is home. Yes, he is. Hello. Having an adventure. A baking adventure. It's going pretty well. Oh man, I should have checked to see which pieces of cake were better. Because this one's not super crunchy. Oh, one of the other ones is crunchy.
How's Twitch?
It's good. We are listening to some Chrono Trigger music, apparently. I'm talking about Silent Hill music. Okay, well I've got these little bits of cake. They say hello to you. He says hello back. I don't know if you guys can hear him. He just got back from Krov, so he's all stinky and gross. Huh? I mean, you're welcome to try it if you want. Yeah, no, it's a stew thing. I make things you don't like when you're not home. Delicious is what it was. Nox has been so bad. She wanted my butter too, so I gave her some butter. She liked that. Yes, and he doesn't just study it, he's an instructor. Turn around, turn around. See? It's on the back of his shirt. He's an instructor.
I actually just want this.
He's obsessed with it. There's gotta be something I can put that cake in. Where can I put that cake in? Oh, you know... I'm gonna put the music aside so you guys can keep listening to music, but I can't be tethered to this because I've gotta wash some more stuff. I'm gonna boil some water because we will be moving on from icing to glaze. Oh, it almost fits. Hang on. I gotta edit this now. There we go. Krov is definitely intense. It is more intense than martial arts generally. But it's practical. I should have started this sooner, but I didn't. Yeah, very, very thin layers of icing between this cake. Oh man, I did not do a good job with the icing on this cake. Alas. What are you going to be playing? Oh, right, I was going to put that in something. What am I doing, Nox? I don't know what I'm doing. Nox! What am I doing, baby? Nox doesn't know. goodness, why are you awake at 4 in the morning? It is 9 p.m. here. So, yes, the Paladin's Quest battle theme is amazing. So good. So I'm gonna wash this. Maybe I'll take a little bit. Makes you want to eat pasta. That's interesting. Why pasta? Is there some connection that I don't get? Just putting some more icing. I didn't make enough icing. I'm so disappointed in myself. It's okay. I am often disappointed in myself, but it works out okay in the end. Okay. I did drop cocoa powder. I'll clean it later. Oh, yeah, thank you. Italian flair? Still, 4 in the morning is really late. I am not a morning person, but I'm also not that much of a night owl either. Oop. Oh, Matt Cam, thanks for following. An old oregano commercial. And now we do the whole cleanup thing. Oh goodness, there's an ant on the floor. That's not good. When there's one ant on the floor, frequently there will become more ants. I do watch YouTube and I put things on YouTube too. Oop, but I can't watch YouTube right now because I'm busy streaming. So if you want to show something to me, I'm afraid I can't watch it right now. Ow, hot water, hot water. I'm trying to clean up so that I can make the last bit of thing here, which is chocolate glaze to pour over the cake. Alright, Tim. Tim, isn't it late for dinner? Oh, thank you, Matt. I really wanted to have more music to put up on my YouTube. I had a bunch of things in progress, but I haven't finished any of them because I keep getting distracted with other commitments and other things. But eventually. Whoop! It's hot. Okay. So, we don't put any vanilla in the chocolate glaze? That's strange. Okay, so this part... So now I'm supposed to cook sugar in water. Oof, I am getting tired, my goodness. So we'll do this quickly. So this is half a cup of boiling water and 1 3/4 cup powdered sugar. So I'm going to clatter around in here a bit. Let's see if I can find where Tiger Crush put my measuring cups. Maybe? Maybe not? Maybe? No? What's a 1/4 cup? Is this a half cup? It is, but it's a bit dirty. Alright, well this is going to take a little while. Oh no, the camera's going to show you my butt again. Camera, nobody wants to see that. I told you. What is wrong with you? No. Stop. Okay. So I just put in the water, and then I'm going to put in an amount of sugar and boil it. How much sugar do we want? 1 3/4 cup. Oh my gosh, I really, really want to play Trails in the Sky. I've heard really good things about it. I guess you can see my socks. Yeah, I do. I collect socks that are interesting. I have a lot of thigh-high striped ones like these, which keep me warm in the winter. Because even though it's Texas, I get cold easily, so... I have my rainbow ones, which if you saw my tutorial costume picture from yesterday, those are the ones I was wearing there. Okay, so I'm putting the sugar in here. And you don't have to be super exact with this stuff. This is going to be too much icing, isn't it? Oh well. Then I can just put it between the other little layers and it'll be fine. Okay, so I'm setting this, getting a wooden spoon, so I can stir this up, and it'll eventually become this like horrifying scalding glaze thing. It's not there just yet. By the way, be extremely careful with heated up sugar, in case you didn't know that. I really like dialogue-heavy games, so I think I might try Trails in the Sky. I've heard really good things about it, so... Okay, so I'm cooking that. In the meantime, I'm going to take a stick and a half of butter. Oh, Fieldy's online. Fieldy is streaming. Oh, Nox! Do you want to go see your daddy? Nox, you're such a little cutie! Nox is sitting like with her face pressed against the bathroom door. Because he's in there showering. Nox! Baby! You're such a cutie. Well, I mean, sugar, when it gets heated, kind of superheats and then it'll stick to you. So it's kind of like napalm in a way. So you want to be careful with it. Oh man, caves. Caves are scary. So a cup and a tablespoon of cocoa. Hello again. I got it. No. No, careful, don't try to tilt it. Oh man, speakeasies are pretty cool. Especially if it still has any of the decoration from being a speakeasy. That is cool stuff. Okay. Yay, more speaker and music. I can't hear it because I don't want to be plugged in when I'm dealing with the stove. But... Oh! Huh? Oh no, but I had one on. Because I'm cooking in it. What main burner? Oh, okay. He's cooking too. Because he hasn't eaten. And he's been off punching people. So I'm putting some amount of... Oh! That's probably too much cocoa powder in here. So let me scoop some of that out. Oh hey, it's Kittens Forever! Hi, Kittens Forever! No, he's not making spaghetti. He's probably gonna, like, pan fry up some meat. Oh no, he's gonna make tacos, he says. Okay. No, that's reasonable. That is a good idea. I made something that'll give me leftovers. But it is not gonna give you much good. I made something delicious! It was so good. We didn't even have poultry seasoning, so I improvised. So what I'm doing here, and this is sort of similar to what you do with a regular icing, where you put the dry ingredients in the butter. Oh my goodness, those are my feet. That's not... Come on, camera. Camera. This tripod has seen better days. So what I know, well I need to take off the old dead tape, but I don't get around to it. I think everything tastes terrible, but I think it's because I burned my tongue. It's not supposed to be a foot cam. Oh, Emma! Thank you, Emma, for the follow. It's supposed to be a baking cam, but how are we doing over here? Huh?
Be careful showing your feet on stream. It's actually against terms of service.
But they're not bare.
Oh, is it they have to be bare?
I don't know, but it fell into my socks.
Oh no, you're fine. I'm just saying, just be aware.
That's weird.
It's because of the foot fetish.
Yeah, no, I mean it makes sense, but that's still weird. Okay,
Don't
so
get banned.
okay. Yeah, Tiger Crush is cooking himself dinner. I'm gonna start putting things away. Like a good and responsible Lauren. This is an important lesson, everybody. Clean up as you go. I'm sorry, Kittens Forever. I don't quite know how Steam works. If you're new to Steam and I'm new to Steam, I think I can't add people myself on Steam because I haven't spent money on Steam. Hi, Fox! Fox, my cake is coming along. Sort of. I don't know if it's going to be any good or not, but yes, I'm teaching you important lessons about baking and marital happiness. Okay. So this over here, this is boiling sugar water. So don't touch it. And we're going to pour it in there. And it's going to make that all gloopy. That's an official technical term. And so now it's all boiling and splattering. That's not good. We don't want that. Okay. So now it's going to do its thing. And it says do this for 20 minutes and then ice the cake. So I'm going to throw away stuff and clean stuff. What are we listening to? Oh man, it's Reminiscence. Such a good song. Suikoden 2 has some amazing music, and it's an amazing, amazing game. Really, I recommend any of you guys who can tolerate older RPGs to give it a try. Well, your computer, I'm glad that you... Oh, Undertale is tomorrow. I'm going to be coming back to Undertale tomorrow, and I have a Toriel costume that I'm going to be wearing. I'm very excited. You can tell from the hand flailing. Are you somebody who's been watching me on YouTube? That's exciting. I played a little Undertale music earlier today. Yes, if you're going to play Suikoden 2, it is best to play Suikoden 1 first because it gives you context and is designed as a prequel and is not too terribly long or difficult, I don't think. Suikoden 2 is not very hard. It's oof. Sorry, putting stuff in the dishwasher. Got it. Oh yay! Well, hello. Are you one of the people who's left me comments? I try to respond to all of my comments, but it takes me a while sometimes to get around to them. So if you left me a comment, I might remember it. And if you didn't, that's okay. Not everybody leaves comments, but if you did, that's exciting. Oof. Oh my goodness. The kittens are talking about kitten leggings, huh? Kitten party! Okay, so this is beginning to be a little bit more glaze-like. I think it might be too cocoa powdery. Ooh. That's sharp. Maybe. No, I burned my tongue. Everything is going to taste wrong. How many times have I had to tell myself that tonight? A lot. I'm still having to tell myself that. No, I'm definitely not cynical nerd hates on everything. I can't say that I like everything there is to like, but I don't know. I think there's a lot of negativity in the world, and I don't necessarily feel that kind of negativity, so I don't know. Plus, Undertale is not a very negativity sort of experience. It's a positive thing. Yeah, it is really funny how that works, isn't it? Small world. Kittens Forever, are you encouraging Tim to spend all of their money? Okay, so now it says to let this go for 20 minutes. So we're hanging it out over here, and I'm trying to see what you guys are talking about. Yeah, no, I was playing with a friend's orchestra at a convention, and I was dressed as Paula from Earthbound, and I guess Tim was like, here's a person dressed as Paula, I like Earthbound, and just kind of sat down and hung out, and we talked for like, gosh, it must have been at least 30 minutes. Bye, Kittens Forever!
Bye, Kittens Forever.
Bye! Tiger Crush says bye too! Thanks for coming! We'll see you maybe not tomorrow for Undertale because you don't want spoilers. I know. So it's big. I don't know. You probably can't see because it's dark, but it's slowly kind of turning into like it's a bit thicker. The fudge. Yeah, no, Tim, you were really fun. I appreciated that you had a parental unit that was hanging around though, just to make sure that I wasn't going to be a creeper. But it's funny, actually, when I was in high school and I sold artwork at anime conventions, a lot of times, like, little kids would come and look at my art and hang out with me. And I drew mermaids and stuff, so it was, like, things they could like. But, so I wanted to hear if I could hear our music over the sound of this thing spinning. But like somehow or other I've always been the person that parents and kids at conventions are like, this one's not trouble. And to be fair, I'm not really trouble, I don't think. Although when I was young and doing artwork at anime conventions, creeper dudes would try to get me to, they would try to commission me to draw their creeper dude pictures, and I was like, no, we're not going to do that. So, most of the commissions I got were adorable teenage girls commissioning me to draw pictures of their characters holding hands and looking meaningfully into each other's eyes, which I'm all about. That's the sort of pictures that I like to draw. Roaches or Sailor Moon tattooed? Oh! Yeah, designs like that I think would be really good and timeless and look good. Really good. As a tattoo. Yeah, this is thickening up. We gotta be careful, because if it's super liquidy, then it's like slap, 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 slap. Onicon. Yes. I will play at Onicon if Ruby's Orchestra is at Onicon again and she wants me there. Matsuri. I need to book us for more conventions. I've been waiting until, I have to wait until PAX South, because then we'll have video with our new drummer, because it feels kind of disingenuous to say this is who we are, and have it be the old version of the band with somebody who's no longer in the band, and I think that would be unfair to him too, so. If Comic Palooza invites us back, yeah. Well, thank you, Baritone. Yes, by the way, JoJo is also... Tim, I don't know if you met any of the other orchestra members at Onicon, but JoJo is one of them. I would love to play a show at your house, Foxhound, but I'm pretty sure that your neighbors might call the cops. Then again, don't your neighbors, aren't they up to all sorts of trouble themselves? I don't think Polo would like that. I think he might be concerned. But Justin's drum kit is so much smaller than John's, it might actually fit in the living room. Well, we will be, your computer, we will be streaming, wait, okay, your computer, back up. You just found my YouTube videos, but you've also been following Lobos for a while. Are these at all related, or was it just coincidental that you happened to watch my YouTube videos and then be like, wait a minute, she's in a band with Lobos? I'm always curious because like everybody on Twitch knows Lobos. You know, Fox, if you would be willing to have a house party so we could get some videos of Justin and stuff, that would be cool. The problem is though, we have local fans who want to go to a local show, and I don't think you want local fans at your house. Oh, nice! Yeah, raises are good. I haven't gotten a raise in 6 years, so I'm going to be talking to my bosses about that. Oh, that's awesome! Is she going to be just, like, playing on piano all dramatically? That's awesome. Oh, that's really funny, your computer. I mean, I guess Lobos is everywhere now. I'm never entirely sure. So I've known Lobos for 6 years now, and he had just graduated from college, and we were just like in a band together. And he actually started speedrunning because Tiger Crush, who you saw in here getting dinner, we were at a mutual friend's birthday party, and Tiger Crush speedrun Super Metroid at this party, and Lobos was like, oh, that looks like fun, I should try that. So technically, Tiger Crush inspired Lobos to do the thing that then turned into him being a streamer. But the Dark Souls thing is all him. I don't know how he does it. The T, you've met Lobos. He's our guitarist. So you've met him at conventions. Yes, Ruby is Purple Shala on YouTube. Sorry, I should probably call her that. Because she goes by Cinnabunny as a cosplayer and Purple Shala on YouTube. It's very confusing. This is why I'm Lauren the Flute. Oh, I don't have my Lauren the Flute logo. Okay, well I'm Lauren the Flute on like literally every social media, so. Okay, well the T, you're like the person who doesn't know Lobos on Twitch. He does a very good job. He's very good at streaming. See, this is thickening up. It's still going. What are you doing, Fox? Hey, Axel! Hey! It's technically not my birthday yet, it's Friday, but we're having an early birthday celebration. And we're waiting on this chocolate glaze to stop being chocolate mush and turn into glaze. But it's getting there. Purple Shala and other folks will be playing. Oh, okay. Well, I will be looking forward to hearing her practice that stuff. Oh, hey, Poopadoo. Your name is kind of fun to say. Yay, a bunch of people. Hey, Wyvern. Oh, hey. Apparently, Wyvern Slayer is going to be at PAX South. Huh? Oh.
Sorry. I mean, wait. Wyvern Slayer is going to be at PAX South? Tell me more. No, I knew because he was asking if you guys were going to be there.
Okay.
That was before you were going to be there, so I said no.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, I didn't know, and then I knew. And
I unfortunately will not be there.
Yes. That's true. Nope.
So he's going to have to uphold the balls.
Okay, so in case you can see, maybe you can see the texture of it. Like, I don't know if you saw when I put the stuff in and it was like super liquidy. Like super liquidy. Wait, did you not know that, Fox? Or are you also pulling my leg? But see, here, we'll lift this up so you can see. It's actually like glaze textured. Like, see, it's actually got some thickness. Like, you could actually spread that. Well, I knew something Fox didn't know. Yes. No.
Maybe he should be less
So I'm going to keep going on this. I want it to be nice and thick so I can spread it. Yeah, Fox is going to be there. He's going to be helping at our table because he does that. He's very helpful. Got it. It's going to be exciting, and I'm going to be bringing birthday cake. Not this birthday cake, but a different birthday cake. Because I have a baking problem. Wait, is there no music? Wait! Fox, you didn't tell me you were going to be doing that for PAX! That's exciting! Yes! Okay. I'm excited. Now I definitely have a baking problem. There's no denying it. But now I'm sharing my baking problem with all of you. Fox out or Tiger Crush wanted you to see his delicious tacos. He puts ketchup on his tacos, which is disgusting. Still going. This is not a thing you want to do by hand, by the way. For those of you who don't have mixers, yes, Brinstar! It's a good song. But we also put salsa on it, but then he puts ketchup on top of that. Alright, Baritone. Isn't it? Didn't you say it was like the middle of the night and you're gonna get some food? You keep interesting hours. You know, I just realized, because it's like front and center and me talking right at you, I feel like I'm like a shopkeep in an RPG, you know? And like this over here is like menu, and this down here is like your dialogue options or maybe your inventory, or I don't know. Yeah. And I can just like stand there and look really serious and talk seriously about things. Okay, well I'm gonna call this a baking shop interface now. Maybe I'll see. So you see my My little picture of me up there. There we go. Yeah, I had it set up differently and I didn't like it, so I kind of last minute decided to fix this. But yeah, this is from back when I had less hair. I had less hair for like, I don't know, many years. Yeah, I don't know how to, my things are really minimal. Hi, Death's Angel. Are you in Wyvern an item? I'm gathering from context you might be. Whoa. This is less of a glaze and more of an icing, which I actually like better. That'll make it less of a pain for me. Look at that deliciousness. Oh, camera. Look at that. Yes. Well, usually it's darker and glossier and shinier, but I think I didn't cook the sugar quite as much. Oh, okay. Yay! More couples. There we go. Maybe I should have put more powdered sugar in it. This turned out differently than I'm used to. It does look kind of like chocolate mousse, doesn't it? Well, I have no idea what texture it's going to wind up having, because this is not usually how it turns out, but that's okay. We're just going to listen to some Terranigma music instead. Man, it's almost the same color as the buttercream inside. Oh well. I did it wrong. I did it wrong. Fortunately, it's still cake, so people will still eat it. And unless they were here, they'll never know, except that I'll tell them. I'll say I did it all wrong. Wadanohara. I don't know that, Tim. I don't know what that is. Hey, Tiger Crush, is it too late, or do you want to try to stream something together? Because I'm almost done with this cake. I don't know if he heard me. Oh no, he's in the middle of eating, I see. He's got tacos shoved in his face. Alright. We're almost done here. Nox! Baby, what are you doing? This is objectively not where you go. You don't care, do you, kitty? Hey, Zespera! You didn't miss the cake. We're almost done with the cake. Oh, I should probably show the cake. Hold on. Hey, Chizoo! Thanks for the follow! I did it wrong. The icing is wrong. I don't know how, but it is. That's okay. Because it's still cake. So that's gonna be my, my motto, catchphrase, something for this. Ah, it's the ending thing for Terranigma. It's so good. Well, Tiger Crush, do you want to set something up? I don't know. What should we do? What should we play, or should he play and I go over and hang out with him in my sketchbook? Do you guys have a preference? We could have a hilarious raid in which we walk from here to that room right over there. This thing is mirrored and it's really confusing me. So if you make uneven icing intentional enough, you can call it rustic. He has played Undertale. He has beaten it, but he's very good at not spoiling it for me because I have not beaten it. He didn't do the pacifist run though. I think he might be doing a genocide run at some point. I don't know. Tim, you're homeschooled, right? That's how you can have dinner at like 9:30 p.m. Axel, you should totally try it. I think you'll like it a lot. I'm pretty positive you'll like it, actually. Just from what I know of the things that you like. Yeah, I'm kind of curious about the genocide run, and I kind of feel like then you get the full experience, but I just don't know that I could do that, you know? Like, I'm not sure I have it in me. Okay, we're almost done with this. So you guys haven't answered, what should Tiger Crush play after this? Should he do his thing? Are you working on any two games, one controller things? Okay, he's been... Okay. Well, I'm just giving people the options of what's available. So he's been running one controller, like one input, double game of Breath of Fire and Chrono Trigger. It's two inputs. What? Oh, right, but which one? Oh, the controller's cut in half. I knew that and was confused by it. Okay. I wouldn't mind sitting backseat.
I guess you've been pretty active today.
I have been.
Nox. Nobody likes you, cat. Yeah, we could do some of that if people wanted to see it. Right, we're like in the middle of it. I don't care.
Yeah, if you guys don't mind, he's saying he's in the middle of the game, so he's not sure if that'll be an interesting thing for people to just wander over and see how it's going. Otherwise, we could do something else. So, like, let us know what you guys want, if there's anything you want to see. Because I'm almost done with this. Oh, Arena's music box theme is so sad. Star Ocean 2 has some surprisingly sad moments, given how... I say this affectionately, how dumb the story is. Alright, so there's that cake. I think I'm gonna make a mini cake. Let's do this, guys. We've got leftover icing and leftover cake. We're gonna make a mini cake and I'm gonna bring it to work. And then my coworkers will love me and hate me. I really like the read free last. We do have Aquaria, but that is on my Steam account, and I'm thinking about something that we can have over on his computer so that my laptop can have a rest and I can kind of sit in the back seat a bit. So I'm trying to follow what people are saying here. But I'm also icing a cake. Oh, the cake actually tastes pretty good now that it's cooled down somewhere. We've shared some stuff on Steam. Oh, I made way too much of this icing and not nearly enough of the other icing. Lesson learned. Second guess everything you do. This is an important Lauren skill. If you want to be a Lauren, this is how you do it. Anyway, he knows how Steam works. I'm glad I didn't throw away that cake now. Look at this. It's gonna be a little cake. A little wobbly because this icing doesn't have any structural integrity. No, Fox, you gave him that weird game last night instead. Actually, you might have given him that other thing too. I'm just stuck on the weird game that you gave him last night. Which I'm pretty sure would give me nightmares if I watched too much of it, even though it's not actually very scary. Oatmeal raisin. Well, icing would be substitutable, except that the icing's already in the cake. So I can't just like reach in and put a different icing. Oh, he's watching me on his screen. I thought that said it might have been a flute instead of a fluke. Something is wrong with me. Ah! Eek! No! Ah! This is a very sorry looking little cake. Well. I'm calling it done. What game are we supposed to be playing, Fox? What game is it? I think my tongue is fixed. Oh, it's actually pretty good. Since we're talking shopkeeps, I'm thinking the secret of man is shopkeep. Anyway, cake is done. And now I'm going to put it in the freezer to try to get the icing to set. We'll see, the icing might not set. And then once the icing has set a little bit, then I'll put more foil, not foil. First I'll put, what's the word? Cling wrap over it. And then I'll wrap that in foil to try to protect it against the taste of being in the freezer. It's gonna be there for a few days. Yes. And this little thing here, I don't even know. It is not going to win any awards for being an attractive cake. Look at this. Look, it's like all like lumpy. Like, what is going on here? I don't know. It's a mutant cake monstrosity. But do you think you could get that game started? The thing that Fox was talking about? No, that's not good. Okay. Well, would you guys want to come along and see Tiger Crush playing his double game thing? Would you do that? Because then we can go raid him. Untethered. We should walk you guys through Suikoden 2 at some point. Man, it's such a good game. Okay, do you want to go ahead and set that up? Do you want to play that? Okay, Okay, well, fortunately, we'll have the power of the internet at our disposal. We'll figure out where you are. Okay, so we're gonna do that. So, oh my goodness. Look at this cake. It fell sideways. It's supposed to be like straight, like that, but it's the Leaning Tower of Cake. Well, thank you for sticking around for Cake Cam, your computer. If you want to see Undertale, it'll be tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Time, right here on More in the Flute. No. So, yeah, I'm actually really excited to be getting back to Undertale. Somehow or other, I came across one little spoiler that I don't know. It doesn't apply to my playthrough, so it's okay. So it'll be good. Yay! It'll be exciting. I'm really... Wait, what? What are you talking about, the tea? What? I'm really confused right now, guys. What are we talking about? Oh, it's a joke. Okay. I don't do jokes very well. Obviously. I see. I'm a cool kid. Yes. There you go. You guys have it down. You're funny, and I don't understand funny. I have no humor. I'm a robot. Beep, 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 bop, beep. Okay, well. Oh! I didn't know that. Shows how not international I am. Coldest of the extensions. See, look, I'm all glowing blue. My mom gave me this iPad. It's like got some issues, but it works most of the time. Yeah, well, you don't really enjoy eating, Axel. And that's like, for me, one of the great joys of being human is consuming food that is delicious. That's why I bake cakes like this. Bro, look at the light of the cake cam. Look at that. That's amazing. Okay. Sorry. I shouldn't be. Oh man, this song is so good. Okay, well, we're gonna head over to... Huh? Okay. Is that clickable? That's what we're gonna do. Human food doing things like spoiling. Oh man, I really enjoyed that conversation in Undertale. I love all of the like little weird, goofy, quirky, funny things. But we're gonna go ahead and shut down here. I'm so excited that you can quote that section. It's so good. I was just like, oh my god, are you for real? Alright. So we're gonna go raid Tiger Crush. If that's okay. The raid word is cake. Okay. Excellent. We're going to surprise him because he's right there in the same room pretty much as me. And tell him I'm going to host him. I have to figure out how to do that. But anyway, I will go. Thanks to everybody who came by my my birthday stream earlier today with the art and the music and then coming by for the cake. You guys have been delightful. If you feel like sticking around for Undertale tomorrow, that'll be at 7 p.m. Central, here. Yeah, I talk a lot. Thank you all. Bye. Good night. Good night. Good night.